Hey guys, what is going on? Welcome back to the channel. So today's video, I'm going to be showing you guys how to replace the intake filters in a Porsche 911 991. So this is kind of crazy because they did hide them behind the rear bumper. So we are going to have to take the rear bumper off. I already had my cards up on QuickJacks for another project, so I decided to go ahead film this video for you guys because I am putting in some brand new Canon intake filters, and I picked these things up on Amazon. There's going to be a link in the description down below, and this is pretty much what they look like. They're still in the plastic, but these things should allow for a lot more airflow, and these are reusable. So these things to me are a really awesome go-to choice. Let's go ahead and get started with removing the rear bumper. But before we do that, we're going to have to actually raise the wing, which I already have done. If you guys are not aware of how to do that, it's actually a little button on the inside once the auxiliary is on. But let's go ahead and get started with the rear bumper removal. All right, so to remove the rear bumper, there's going to be 4 screws along the top here. And this is a 4S, so that's why I do have that center light. And then we're also going to have to remove the tail lights. All right, so to remove the tail lights of the 991, there's going to be this little cover. You're going to lift up on the back here, and it just literally just pops right out. And then right here, there's going to be 2 T25 screws. We're going to go ahead and pull those out, which actually I already have the wrench ready. So let's go ahead and remove these screws. There we go. Now once we have those 2 screws out, we're just going to go ahead and pull back on the taillights. There we go. You want to be careful not to scratch it on the paint or anything. All right, there we go. And then there's going to be a little plug. We're going to go ahead and push in on the little tab right here in the bottom and wiggle that off. There we go. Just like that, we got the tail light removed. And whenever you do go to put it back on, just keep in mind that there's kind of this little like kind of hook situation, and that actually goes on right back here behind this bolt. All right, so there's also going to be some more screws under the car. There's going to be 2 right here and then another 2 on the other side. And then we have 2 more screws. See if it'll focus. There we go. 1 right there and 1 right there. So we're going to go ahead and pull off those 6 bottom screws. And then we also have a couple more in the wheel well liner, which we'll get to in a second. All right, and then in the wheel well, we're going to have 3 more screws. There's going to be 1 right here, 1 right there, and then the other one, let's see, is right there. I don't know if you can see it right there. So we're going to go ahead and remove those 3, and then also it's the exact same on the other side. And then we have 2 more screws left, and that's going to be that big giant silver one right there in the top of the taillight. I like to keep that one on last because it is like kind of like the top piece that kind of like holds the bumper in place. So once we pull that one off, there's obviously going to be like a little tab you can probably see sticking out right here. So then the bumper will have to kind of pop forward, or I guess kind of pop out to the side before it can come off. But let's go ahead and remove those 2 screws. There's 1 there and then 1 on the other side. All right, so there are a couple plugs like tucked away, like right up in here. You can kind of get to them if you wanted to go ahead and unplug them, or you can go ahead and remove the bumper kind of off the car first, hold it in place, and then get some more room to get back behind there and pop those off. It is almost the same thing as kind of unplugging the taillights. Very simple, very easy. I'm going to go ahead and reach in there and pop that off first. All right, so now they're ready to pull the rear bumper off. Like I said, we're going to pull this straight out to kind of pop it off of like the little tab right there. Also, there's some clips right behind here. So we're going to go ahead and do that. There we go. Now we're going to go ahead to go to the other side and carefully do the same thing. And you do want to support it from like the middle, but also kind of like on each side. And just like that, we got the bumper removed. All right, so now that the whole rear bumper is removed, we can go ahead and remove the back portion of the airbox. There's going to be 7 screws that kind of are located around the airbox. There's going to be like 1 right in the middle and then 3 on each side. So we're going to go ahead and pull those off and then remove the entire back end of that. All right, so now that we have the airbox off, we can go ahead and pull off the old filters, which these ones are really, really dirty. And we can go ahead and put the brand new ones on. And they are the same on each side, so it doesn't matter which side it goes on which. For most people, it's self-explanatory, but I've seen a lot of fail videos where people leave the plastic on the filter. We're gonna go ahead and pull that plastic off of here, and then we can go ahead and line it up, obviously with the smaller side going in. So then that'll sit right there. And let's go ahead and put the other one in. Alrighty, and just like that, both air filters are put in. We go ahead and put the air box back on. And there are two tabs right here on the bottom that actually hook in right here. So go ahead and put those in first. There we go. And I'm going to go ahead and put the center screw in first, just to go ahead and hold everything on. Also, I do have a link in the description down below for these screwdrivers, which are very, very helpful to use, especially with projects like this. And now all we have to do is put the 3 screws in on each side and we are done. Well, then obviously putting the rear bumper back on and then putting all the taillights back in. Alright, so if this video helped you guys out, definitely put down in the comments down below, let me know. Also, if you guys have any other questions or concerns, definitely put those down in there as well. I always go through, read and respond to those, so like I said, put down in the comments down below. If you guys want to pick up any tools or any of the supplies I use in this video, there's going to also be Amazon links down in the description. But if you guys did like the video, hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't already. But as always, thank you for watching.